What is up, traders, and welcome to this trader interview with a very familiar face today. It's Rutger from the Trading Academy team, obviously a very good friend, business partner, and fellow trader of mine, who together I trade with on over $1 million in funded capital, and who has done in the past year over $100,000 in payouts. Now, today we're going to be learning a little bit more about Rutger's trading strategy, his story, and some tips and tricks that he has in store for you guys. So, Rutger, thank you so much for obviously taking the time to come on this interview. Super curious to hear, first of all, about your journey. Where did it all start for yourself? How did you get into trading, and how has the journey been so far?
Yeah, so actually I started exactly 5 years ago when Corona hit and we were all in lockdown and I was at home. Thinking like I want to learn something new. I want to learn a new skill with all this free time I have. At the time I was still studying computer science and economics. I finished that, by the way. But
As opposed to most traders who are just trying to be a high school dropout.
So I was looking online, like, hey, what online business models are there? How can I earn or start earning money online, or teach myself a high income skill? And I came across trading, I just fell in love with like the craft and this game where there's like a lot of market participants, of course, very big players, very smart players you're playing against. But if you are in this top 10% or top 5% traders, you will earn or be able to earn like a lot of money, which was of course very attractive at the time. And that's where it all started and where the grind for me started. I was like, okay, I need to make this happen.
Fantastic. Well, good to know. And now what I'm interested in is maybe to learn a little bit more about your trading style. Obviously, you say trading is a craft, and it is also, I know, a very big passion of yourself. You're not only just in it for money, but it's actually something that you love doing every single day. What is it that you love doing every single day? Like, what's the actual strategy? What does it revolve around? What pairs do you trade? What time frames do you trade? And what are just pretty much the core components of your strategy? I know it's a lot of questions, but feel free to break them down one by one.
Yeah, so like I think my 100% my trading style like evolved over the years, right? I think a lot of people just start out scalping, like they want the money fast, right? They think, oh yeah, I can earn this fast money with trading, but actually the opposite is true. And it's better to be in there for the long term, especially if you trade FX, Forex. This is a slow market and you want like consistent returns in the markets rather than just fast money and next 3 months you blow up the accounts and there's no cash flow, right?
Yeah.
So started more in the lower time frame and like crazy patterns and bank levels, even all these terms, that really didn't work for me actually. So then I moved more to like a mechanical approach, like Trading Academy does, with like multiple confluences. So then did that like first in 15 minutes, then shifted more to the 1 hour. Now I'm more looking for 4 hour, even daily, but 4 hours is now my go-to time frame with all the forex pairs. And then once you go more higher time frame, you will notice like, okay, but what is then driving the markets on the higher time frame? Contrary to the lower time frame, it's fundamentals, right? So then I started diving into fundamentals a lot, learning, that's how like basically my trading style evolved. So now it's more based around higher time frame and fundamentals.
Okay, interesting. So it's mainly based on the 4 hour time frame. You use fundamentals to understand the major swings within the market. And then when it comes down to the execution, you execute on the 4 hour time frame, but what are the key components that everybody needs to understand or needs to know that you use?
Yeah, so you want to wait for confirmation, right? So for example, if you trade supply and demand, you want to know, is there actual supply or demand there? And you can identify this by waiting for a shift in the market. And we use fractal structure for this, which is an aggressive form of structure where you look at like the most recent high and low breaks. By an actual shift in the market, confirming that there's actual demand, for example, when you want to go long. So
you use supply and demand, and then in combination with market structure. And then I know for a fact that you use two other confluences. Which are those as well that you use?
So obviously you want to look for liquidity, right? Buyers and sellers. So you don't want to be the early buyer or the early seller. So you want to wait for swipe, more liquidity to get taken. And also premium versus discount. So very simple. All the big players look at this as well. Like you want to buy at a discount price, you want to sell at a premium price, right? Very basic.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so let's dive a little bit more into those individual components of the strategy. So number one, supply and demand. How do you interpret supply and demand? How do you find supply and demand? Obviously, we're going to go into a chart in a second as well and identify potential trade opportunity. But how do you identify supply and demand? Is there like a method that you use? Because I'm very curious just to, for you to break it down for everybody so they understand really like your trading strategy.
yeah, so you want to look for sell before the buys, right?
So
Where
for the buy candles, right?
sell before the buy candles, like a sell before a really big buy, or a buy before a really big sell, because
Yeah.
this means that there happened something around there happened to push the price really hard, right? So there
Yeah.
are most likely orders there, and you want therefore, if you mark those out and then you see like, okay, we have this demand zone in this sell before the buy candle, we come back and then the market shifts again, there were probably big orders in those demand zones where you want to trade off from.
Okay, interesting. And that's supply and demand then. And then liquidity. How do you identify liquidity within a market? That's confluence number two.
Yeah, so you want to look for, first of all, like open highs and lows, which you can still take out. And if there's like no liquidity in the move, meaning there's just only buy candles or only sell candles,
Yeah.
the whole move is likely to get taken out. So you want to wait for like the high of that move itself or the low of the move.
Yeah. And we call these often like, we refer to them as little bumps in the road, right?
Bumps in the road, exactly, yeah. So you
Okay,
want to,
fantastic.
and then once you enter like a demand zone, you want to not be the early buyer, of course. So you want to wait for another swipe to then look for the confirmation.
Good point. I think this relates as well to the supply and demand, right? When you identify supply demand zone, like the higher probability supply and demand zones will always grab liquidity first before then moving in a certain direction. So if you're identifying, for example, a supply zone, look for that buy before a very strong sell down, but look for a buy before a sell that actually grabs liquidity above above a certain point, because those are going to be the stronger supply zones. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay, fantastic. And then, market structure. Obviously, you just identify the overall swing, right? The overall momentum and the overall direction, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah. So
And then the premium versus discount is just very simply said the fib tool, right? We want to sell at premium and we want to buy at a discount.
yeah, but like this is just like a generalized fib, right? So
Yeah.
because you can say like, oh, I want to look for the 618 or the 78.6 or the 88.6 or the 38, like all those levels. And we just use a generalized fib. So everything above the 50 is a sell opportunity, everything below the 50 buy opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is a very crucial point in the strategy itself, right? Because everybody always tends to wait for that golden zone or the OTE, as they like to call it. However, what would you do if the market is moving extremely impulsive at some point in time? Because sometimes the market doesn't pull back, right, into those certain fib levels, and then you're going to miss out on all those opportunities and on all that momentum. For example, Euro USD in, let's say around February, it was pushing in towards the downside heavily from 1.12 all the way back down into 102, right? You would have missed out on that entire move if every single time you were waiting for that perfect fib level. Okay, well, interesting. Do you use any like specific indicators or like chart setups that helps decide you what trade to take? Like I know you use some indicators. What are those?
Yeah, so obviously, I like to separate the days of the week. So I have like my weekly cycles. So I
Yeah.
know where are we positioned in the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. I look at daily, weekly, and monthly and yearly open levels. They just tend to be key levels where our orders are pushed into the market. So yeah, you can see like, okay, strong reactions of those levels. So they can act as like a nice confluence if like a monthly open level is stacked in a demand zone, right?
Yeah.
Per zone. I use the Asian session range. Also, yeah, this relates to time again. Like, where are we in the trading sessions? Where is like the session liquidity? For example, there can be like a session liquidity under the Asian low, and then it reverses, right? Or it
Yeah.
holds.
But you use mainly the higher time frame, right? So I don't think the Asian session range indicator is that essential, right? Or do you use it, for example, to identify stronger areas of supply demand to see if, for example, a past supply demand zone has, for example, swept liquidity above an Asian session range, for example? Is
For
that how
example,
you use it?
also, if you go for like 1 hour entries,
Yeah.
like the 1 hour has like swipe Asia and then reverses, or like a double break from Asia into London into New York, yeah, then they can be like a nice extra, you can visualize, okay, where are we in the trading session and does this trade make sense to like keep pushing
Okay.
work or start reversing in London, for example.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I see, like, obviously, you've started from, let's say, bank levels, scalping, lower time frame setups, not really knowing where to start, and now you're at a stage in your career where you know exactly what you're looking for. Like you just broke down those confluences in detail. You know exactly what confluences you need. You know, okay, when price reaches this level, I'm looking for this and this and this. What was the journey to finding it? Like, I understand that, okay, you made that transition, but where was like that tipping point, and what do people need to understand where you can find a tipping point like that? What was for you the great transformation that made you go from somebody who understands how to analyze a chart into somebody who actually understands how to trade the markets and make money from it?
Yeah, so yeah, you need to really reflect a lot. So journaling is like a key factor, like really learning from your mistakes. Next to that, you want to keep yourself accountable, and you need to show up every day. So either through making an Outlook or having like a channel where you post your updates daily. You have like you need to stick to your routine, man, because if you go out of your routine, you will also notice this in your performance. I've
Yeah.
happened to myself many times. And also, when I started helping other people, you will be able to not just have it like in your mind, but actually to explain something. And once you can explain something properly, you probably know it really well. This has also helped me, yeah, understand myself even better, right? Because I can explain it to others.
Yeah.
One who's not into trading, I can explain my full strategy, really basic, and they will understand, right? So
Yeah. Okay, great. So the biggest takeaway is pretty much for people to understand how to actually, let's say, create their own tipping point in their own trading journeys. For example, really journaling, but I wouldn't say just making screenshots, right? Like really maybe filming yourself and also explaining it to others, because indeed, like you said, like once you're able to explain to others, you definitely understand that, you understand the strategy itself. Where did you pretty much like find all these individual concepts? Was it mainly just through YouTube, or was it like through courses? Like, what should people look out for in the markets to learn a strategy like this?
yeah, so there are of course like 10,000 different strategies and ways to approach the market. I think what's really important is to see what works for you. So, for example, like the high there or the liquidity there or this like just a combination of some things, but you never like execute the same way. That just didn't work for me. So I prefer like a mechanical approach to the market.
Yeah,
And then based off that mechanical approach, you can make like little refinement, right? So
yeah,
one does this, so we have this like main confluences within the training academy, but then everyone can add like their own things they see, like, okay, I see those monthly and yearly open levels as an extra confluence. Okay, boom, I will add that, right? Or,
yeah,
for example, I trade a lot of continuations, so maybe the premium discount on the higher time frame, I don't always want to use that with those continuations. Like, but just having like a base framework is really nice to work with for me. Other people, they will just buy here, sell there, and like if that works for you, it can work for you. But it's like very hard to know if you actually have an edge in the market, right? If you go into a backtest, execute the same setup like 100 times, what is your win rate, what's your average risk to reward, then you will know you will have an edge. Then you can go with that approach to the market. If that's
yeah.
consistent, then is there really an edge, right? That is really hard to know if you're not doing it like the same way over and over and over again.
Yeah, good point. Okay, great. Well, I think everybody's super curious to see maybe you break down yeah, a setup for them and show them a little bit more about your trading style, how you approach the markets on a daily basis, and yeah, how you achieved those consistent payouts. All right, guys. So now we're going to dive into a trade breakdown from Rutger here on Germany 40. As we mentioned, he mainly trades using supply and demand, market structure, liquidity, premium versus discount, and institutional levels, actually. Also, he uses an indicator called the monthly, yearly, weekly, and the daily opens. And this is a trade that he took on German 40, which helped him achieve a beautiful, beautiful payout. So let's dive into the setup, Rutger. Super curious to hear why you took it.
Yeah, so let me turn on those open levels as well. So starting off here on the 4-hour time frame, you can see looking at market structure, we had an uptrend. And then we turned bearish. So this was our uptrend, and then we turned bearish. Therefore, we have our first confidence that the market is swing bearish, meaning I want to look for shorts. Also, this high, by the way, didn't take out that high, so the swing high was respected. And also, you want to, of course, sell from premium prices. So if I take my premium versus discount of the swing high to the swing low, everything above the 50% fib is premium prices. So you can see, yeah, we were trading in deep premium. And then also, if you look at like the most recent leg, we also came back into the premium of that most recent push to the downside. As I mentioned earlier, you want to look for supply and demand zones. So where did like the buy before the sell in this case? You can see a very clear buy before the sell that caused a big push. So therefore, I was monitoring this supply zone to see if there was actual supply there to then go short once we had the confirmation, right? So market structure bearish, fresh supply zone. We're trading in premium prices. Then you want to look for liquidity, which is also similar to early sellers in this case. So I marked the early buyers or early sellers in this case as a no. So we had a first step into the supply zone, which was early sellers stepping into the market. They got swiped again. So then after we had the early seller swiped, I wanted to look for a confirmation that there was actual supply there. But what did we get? We just get another early sellers push, and then those sellers got taken out again, right? But then what happened after that? So we had the Asian session, we had the New York session, which I mentioned earlier. We took those out, and then the market reversed really hard, right? So after we got the 1 hour fractal break, which confirms that the structure is, the market is shifting from this area of supply. I saw my opportunity and I instantly sold after we got the confirmation. And then I wanted to trade back to the monthly open levels and back to the demand zone, which was lying over here, because I know those levels they are strong and the price might react to that. But the 1 to 3 was already enough for me. You can see this was open low, meaning there was still liquidity lying under this low, also this one. So of course I want to target liquidity, I wanted to target new demand zone, and I wanted to trade back to the monthly open level. And you can see perfect trade, zero drawdown, and
beautiful.
Same day to take profit. So
yeah, I think this is a great example of really identifying a clear supply zone, identifying that the internal trend towards that supply zone was bullish, but then as soon as you come into that supply zone, you don't just straight away sell, but you actually wait for the bearish confirmation in the form of that market structure shift or that change of character, whatever you want to call it. So this setup really had everything, right? So we had the premium, we had the supply zone, we had the change of character confirmation. We had the market structure in our favor as well. And we also had liquidity, as we can see the initial sellers who came into that supply zone, who sold early, they also got stopped out. So a beautiful setup overall. And thanks for sharing, Rutger. I think a good setup that everybody can learn a lot from. What has been the most helpful lesson or experience that actually helped you become profitable within your trading career?
Great question. So so obviously like making the mistakes yourself is really helpful. But what I wish I had sooner was a mentor who already made those mistakes in the past and then teaches you this, so you can learn from your mentor and don't have to make all those same mistakes yourself, right?
Yeah.
5 years to get to this level of profitability. But now I'm a one-on-one coach myself as well, and I've seen students getting so much faster results because I have like this roadmap, I have this roadmap because all the mistakes I've made, I'm telling my students like, don't do this, but you should do this, right? Because I know what works and I know what doesn't work from a general perspective. Of course, like everyone has like their own trading style, but when it comes to prop firms, when it comes to risk management, there are certain frameworks that if you have like similar strategy, similar win rate, similar risk to reward, this will work. These frameworks will work great for you. And then, yeah, you see like people getting much faster results in comparison to me taking like 4 years to become profitable, and then only in this fifth year doing like crazy results, right?
Yeah. Well said, man. Well said. And what felt for you like the tipping point in your trading career where you truly understood how the markets moved and that really helped you understand, okay, this is the moment that I am profitable? What made you feel like, yeah, you hit that tipping point?
Consistency, like seeing like 3 to 6 months of net positive return, right? Okay, no, you don't have to be every month positive, but like over a 6 month period, you see like steady gains, right? Because
Yeah.
before that, it was like, okay, one good month, one really bad month, one good month, two good months, and then really bad month again, right? And then you switching strategy, and that which is also like a killer. Like once I said to myself, okay, this trading academy strategy, I'm going to stick with this.
Yeah.
You of course have like the results on, or the proof on YouTube, trading the same thing for 5 years, still still getting everyone results, right? And also if you look at the whole team, like everyone trades similar but their own style, like their little own tweaks, but in the baseline it's all similar. Everyone keeps printing like month over month over month. So yeah, I think this is just like great proof that it's not like the strategy works 100%.
Definitely. Well said.
How yourself, like how you manage it and how you execute it will determine what returns you do and how much effort you put in it.
Great. Now, I'm interested in some rapid fire questions, okay? So I'm just going to ask you a few questions and I just want a one sentence answer as quick as possible. So, what is your overall win rate?
40%, 1 to 3.
What is the highest payout that you've ever received from a prop firm?
I think 9,000.
What are your total payouts with prop firms to date?
Almost 100,000.
And how would you describe your strategy in one word?
Mechanical.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, for everybody who is just starting out with trading or maybe who has been trading for, let's say, 3 to 4 months, what would be your number one piece of advice?
Start learning one thing, stick to it. Look for a mentor, look for a great place, like a great community where you can chat with others and get in like this positive learning curve, positive feedback loop, and that's how you make the most progress.
Fantastic. And I think the last question is, how is the Trading Academy different from other trading communities out there? And what would you say is the best thing about the Trading Academy?
So what I think is really unique is we have like a team of 10 traders, which all show their like daily updates, their trading ideas, their payouts, everything they show on a daily basis for free. And you're basically learning from 10 consistent profitable traders for free, which is
definitely unique, yeah.
It's not just one guy, it's not 2 guys, no, it's 10 guys who are printing on a daily basis, right? I've never seen it before, so I think that
me neither. Well said. Well said. All right then. Now, if people want to follow your trading journey, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Rutger Lokin, and you can of course find my update channel in the Trading Academy, and maybe I'll sometimes pop on with my head on the vlogs.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, Rutger, thank you very much for turning up today and explaining a little bit more about your trading strategy. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode as well with one of my dear friends, my closest trade buddy, and obviously business partner as well. Big shout out to Rutger today for taking the time to explain his trading strategy, his journey, and some tips and tricks for you guys as well. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As you know, Rutger can be found within the Trading Academy Discord, discord.gg/the Trading Academy. Make sure to join. He's there inside every single day, spitting and sharing value. Thank you all for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening from wherever you are in the world. And we can't wait to see you in the next episode. Now, if you want to join these episodes as well, hop an interview with myself, make sure to send me a message on Discord or on Instagram. We are active there daily, and who knows, you might be appearing in one of the next episodes yourself as well. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.